Hi everyone. Today I'm going to go through the inventory sheet for your ePortfolio. This inventory sheet has a list of everything that might be in your ePortfolio. Everybody's ePortfolio is going to look different, but this is a guide to help you keep track of what's in your ePortfolio. So we have 6 sections to our ePortfolio that you created. You created an About Me, a Reading, Writing, Listening, Speaking, and Other section. And you have been putting items in those folders of your ePortfolio. And now we're going to use the inventory sheet just to keep track of what items are in each of those folders. All right, so we have been in class for, our term is 14 weeks. And over those 14 weeks, these are some of the items that might be in your ePortfolio in the About Me section. You might have a needs assessment. If you have a needs assessment in the About Me section, you can say yes here. Now, how are you going to fill this in? Well, you could just use the letter X on your keyboard to do it. You could put the letter Y for yes. You could put a star to indicate yes, but somehow put a symbol or a sign in either the yes or the no column. Maybe you weren't with us the first week. You didn't start till week 3. So you don't have a needs assessment. So you would just put a mark in the no column. So you're going to go through the list. So needs assessment. Do you have one? Yes or no? Do you have a checklist for week 1? Maybe not. What about for week 2? Did you do a weekly reflection? If yes, and it's in your ePortfolio, then you would indicate yes. How about for week 4? Oh, did you miss it that week? So you'd put a mark in the no file. All right. In week 4, we did an activity called Skills I Have. Did you put that activity in your About Me section? If so, say yes. If you didn't, you would say no. And you continue doing that. So there's some special sections. Skills I Have, our KWL chart. Okay. There are some we haven't done yet. Week 11, 12, and 13, we can't fill out. But after week 11, after week 12, you can fill out those sections of your inventory sheet. All right. So that's the About Me section. These are the items that could be included. If you don't have these items in your ePortfolio, if it's a checklist, go to your Norquest email because you always get a copy of your checklist in your email, right? So you can go there and check. If you're not getting copies of your weekly reflections, check which email you're sending it to. How are you filling out your weekly reflection form? Okay. There's no right or wrong amount. Okay. Different students have different skills and different students have different time commitments that are different ability to complete tasks. So for some of you, you might have a lot of no's here, and some of you might have a lot of yeses, and it might go back and forth, and that's okay. That's where you're at today. All right. So this term, we will have completed by week 13 3 reading activities that go into our ePortfolio. We did one in week 5, which was comprehending information. We did one in week 8, which was about online shopping, and that was getting things done. And we did one in week 9, which was interacting with others, and that was the email. All right, so were you successful on this task? If you were, you can delete the no. Yes, and were you successful? Did you receive a CLB 4 on this? Then you go yes, 4. Or if you were successful, you'd go yes, 5. Okay, the mark is on the rubric for the assessment. So yes or no. If you got a no, 5. All right, so you can delete what doesn't apply to you. Oh, okay, my online shopping test, I did assessment, I did really well. I got a yes, a 5. Oh, and maybe on my skills for the workplace, I got a no for my 5. All right. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. We're just trying to develop our skills, and that's going to take different people different amounts of time. Okay. Remember, we're working towards 8 to 10 artifacts, 8 to 10 skill using or assessment tasks that have a yes. And that might take us 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, even 4 terms to get there, but we will get there. All right. So our writing, this term, we have 4 writing, 5 writing items in our ePortfolio. Right now, you will have a week 3 discussion forum post that you put. You will have a week 4 using Google Documents tools, a week 6 skill using activity, and you'll have a week 12 PBLA, writing an email, and completing an application form. All right. So for all of these, you're going to say, were you successful? Yes or no. Yes, I was successful. Then I erase or I delete the no. Oh, on this one, no, I was not successful. And then put the CLB, no for 5, yes for 5, because I'm a CLB 5 student. It will be different. Some people will put a 4 here. In week 4, we had using Google Document Tools, and you received a score, maybe 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 on that. You can put your score there if you like. Okay, whatever your score was. Now, what happens if you didn't do an assignment? Maybe you were sick in week 4. Okay, if you were sick and you did not complete it, or your internet wasn't working that week and there was a problem, then we go you would not put NA, you would put A for absent, okay? Or you could spell the word absent. So if you're missing an assignment, you didn't do an assessment because you were sick or you weren't able to complete it, you just write absent, okay? So you'll have some yeses, you might have some nos, and you might have some absences. Okay, you'll do the same thing for your listening and the same for your speaking. Okay, so it's going to yes or no. Again, this one, for example, is in week 13. You can't do that. You're not going to have an answer for that until week 13. Okay, so some of these are you can fill in today, and some of them you'll need to do in week 12, week 13, week 14. All right. Now, some of you have added other items to your ePortfolio. Maybe you've posted discussion questions that you want to share those in your ePortfolio. Or you have some previous work that you want to share in your ePortfolio. You can write that down. So you can type in what the other items are. So for example, I noticed Havish saved some of the posts to the ask a question. So he'd write ask a question, and that would be part of his ePortfolio because he's included that in his ePortfolio. All right, you're just going to the top of your inventory sheet. I have an e-portfolio from a previous term. Some of you were in online before. You have an e-portfolio from a previous teacher and you've shared it with me. So if that's true, yes, and just delete the no. Or if the answer is no, delete the word yes. I have added photos or scans of previous work. So some students were in face-to-face classes last term or within the last year, and they don't have copies in an e-portfolio, but they're taking photographs and they're uploading it to their e-portfolio. So if you're doing that, yes, and you delete the word no. Okay. If you don't have them, you delete the word yes. So I have an e-portfolio from previous terms. No. I've added items, photos. No. Or some of you will say yes. All right. So that's how we fill out our inventory sheet. Make sure as you go through the inventory sheet that you include that the items are in your e-portfolio. So if you say yes, 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 then I need to see that item in your e-portfolio. With the reading, assessments and the writing assessments and the listening and the speaking, if they were done as a Moodle quiz or a discussion forum, you can also upload the test, right, to your e-portfolio as well. So the rubric and the test can both be in the e-portfolio. And that's a really complete e-portfolio then. All right. Good luck. Please contact me if you have any questions or contact the Link IAs for help. We want everybody to have the best e-portfolio they can have.